Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial of the day that is relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news discussion. And before I begin this session, I, on behalf of Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services, wishes all our aspirants a very happy new year. May this new year bring more happiness, prosperity, and success to the way you're preparing for services, even with the civil service examination. We wish that this year can bring cheer and success to your life. Now let's get started with the news topic. Today is 2nd of January, the first important topic, that is the danger of deepfake. This is from the text and context page of the Hindu. Second, India and Austria to sign migration and mobility agreement. Third, Millets manifestation. This is from the explain page of the Indian Express. Fourth, India asks Pakistan to expedite the release of Indian prisoner. And the last is an editorial, India's dilemma in Asian centuries. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do press a like button. So starting the session with the first news, that is the danger of deepfakes, something important for General Studies Paper 3 under the subtopic, the developing of new technology and its implications. So first and foremost, we'll try to understand what is deepfake technology. So this is a method of manipulating the video, images, audio, and utilizing the powerful computers and deep learning. So it's a technology, एक ऐसी technology है जहाँ पे manipulate की जाती है किसी के videos के साथ, images के साथ, audio files के साथ to create with a malafide intention and get a desired result. Now the disinformation threats has a high tool, and even it uses a new tool in the form of information which actually is being processed in the deepfakes. It overlays the digital composite over an already existing video, pictures, audio. Cyber criminals use artificial intelligence technology. So to ensure that deepfake technology is working, AI is involved और यहाँ पे manipulations की जाती है individual के videos के साथ, pictures के साथ, audio जो voice clips होते हैं उनके साथ, and cyber criminal use it for a specific purposes. Now, deepfakes can be used to damage reputations of a person who has a global recognition, even fabricate the evidence, and even defraud public and undermine the trust in the democratic institutions. All these are achieved with fewer resources, with scale and speed that is micro-targeted to galvanize support. Now, I'll show you an image that will help you understand how does it actually work and what is a deepfake technology. So this is an image of a celebrity known as Tom Cruise. So you can see he's an original individual, right? And how the technology was used, the deepfake technology was used, and it got transformed into this picture, right? So this is actually the fake image and this is the original image. Now the same goes with the US President, Mr. Obama, and you can find the changes that has been made in the pattern. So what actually helped, like the voice and whatever desired result is there, that can be done with the simulations और इसमें face change करके किसी और voicing clip को भी add की जाती है. This is how actually the deepfake work. Now, who are the victim of this deepfake technology? So deepfake can depict a person as including an antisocial behavior and saying a wild things that has never been done. So this is mostly targeting the celebrity or a politicians when they are addressing nations or they're giving any address to any important institutions. It can also cause a short-term and long-term social harm and accelerate the already declining trust in the traditional media. The deepfake could also act as a powerful tool जहाँ पे malicious national state to undermine the public safety and create uncertainty and chaos in the target country. It undermined the trust in an institutions and diplomacy as well, And deepfake can be used for a non-state actor such as insurgent group, terrorist organizations to show their adversity, to make inflammatory speech and even engage a proactive actions or anti-sentiments of the people. तो basically कोई पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड या किसी भी तरह की मोटिवेशंस हो, कोई बैड इंटेंशन हो, मैलाफाइड इंटेंशन हो, उसके थ्रू किसी एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पर्सनालिटी की रेप्यूट को खराब करने के लिए इस तरह की डीप फेक टेक्नोलॉजी की यूटिलाइजेशन की जाती है. एंड इवन टू क्रिएट a wrong information about the individual is also the intention behind the deepfake technology. Now, some of the targets. The first case of the malicious use of the deepfake was detected in pornography. According to the Sentity AI, 96% of the deepfake videos with over 135 million views on a pornographic website alone. So this is the industry that is mostly impacted. And the deepfake pornography has exclusively targeted the women, even celebrities and many other women, which is their, being given as a recognition as a celebrity. Now, what is the solutions to this kind of malicious and malafide technology that is being used? The first and foremost is having a media literacy efforts must be enhanced to cultivate a discerning public. The media literacy for consumptions is the most effective tool to combat the disinformation and deepfakes. Social media platforms are taking cognizance of the deepfake issues, and almost all of them has a policy or acceptable terms of use for the deepfakes. So these are the possible solutions which can be worked upon, and resolutions in the longer run can be given. Now, countries that is actually working to combat the deepfakes. So European Union, basically अगर EU की बात करें, they have updated a practice, they have updated a code of practice to stop the spread of disinformations through the deepfakes. And the code of practice was actually signed in October 2018 by online platform Facebook, Google, Twitter, and Mozilla, as well as by the adversities in other players in advising industries. The revised code requires tech companies, including the Google, Meta, Twitter, to take measures in the country of the deepfakes and fake account accounting in their platform. So basically, this is also a way of preventive measures that these countries are doing. In July last year, US has introduced a bipartisan deep task force. This is an action task force to assist the Department of Homeland Security to counter the deepfake technology as well. In India, there's no legal rule against the deepfake technology. Still, the government of India has not come up with any legal provisions or any act that mandates or even recognize the deepfake technologies. Now, moving to the other news, India and Austria to sign migrations on mobility and agreement. So this is between India and Austria, something important for General Studies paper 2. Under the subtopic, effect of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interest and India's diaspora. So India and Australia are expected to sign 5 agreements that will help to boost relationship between both countries. And unlike the similar agreement which is ongoing between France, United Kingdom, Germany and Finland, India will find the same pattern, और इनफैक्ट इसी पैटर्न पे, इसी मोबिलिटी एग्रीमेंट्स पे इंडिया ने डिसाइड किया है कि कंप्रिहेंसिव माइग्रेशंस एंड मोबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप की जाएगी ऑस्ट्रिया के साथ. सो दिस इज नोन एज MMPA विद ऑस्ट्रिया. इट विल बी कमिंग वेरी सून एंड दिस कैन बी अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन इन जनरल स्टडीज पेपर 2, स्पेसिफिकली इन द मेंस. एंड दोज ऑफ यू हु हैज PSIR एज एन ऑप्शनल, उन बच्चों के लिए भी काफी रेलेवेंट है. नाउ FTA एंड इमिग्रेशन इश्यूज. While India has been keen to finalize this agreement with EU countries, especially the European Union, stepping stone to resolve the issues over the long pending India and European Union FTA. FTA के अलावा facilitating Indian professionals working in this country. So the European Union also see this as a way to curb any kind of illegal immigration from India. Now this will give a legal backing, and professionals who are looking forward to work in Austria will be getting an original passport and even the legal backing where they can work. In addition, these agreements will regulate multiple entry visa for the professional and student exchange program and will be reviewed regularly by the joint working group. तो अगर बात करें JWG की, ये इसकी सर्वेलेंस करेंगी. They will be the one who will be monitoring with the actual implementations of this exchange program. Now, India's diaspora that is residing in Austria. So there are more than 31,000 Indian in Austria. Majority of them is from Kerala and Punjab, and they are self-employed and working in healthcare businesses. Now, with country Austria, something is important in terms of map work. So you can see the country like Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Hungary, Slovakia, Poland, and Czech Republic. Right? So these are some of the important points, and even the C is something that will be relevant for the examination purposes. Now, moving to the other news, the Millets manifestations or manifesto. Something important for General Studies Paper 3, that is issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies, minimum support price, and public distribution system. So the UN General Assembly has recently adopted a resolution that was sponsored by India. So India made a sponsorship to this resolution, and this sponsorship was supported by none less than 70 countries, which call for International Year for Millet for 2023. So 2023 is a year that is known as International Year of Millet, recognized by the UN General Assembly, which was sponsored by India. A very important global effort made by India. The resolution is intended to increase the public awareness on health and benefits of millets, their sustainability for cultivation under the tough condition which is marked by the climate change. India's rank is fifth in terms of the world millet producers. Now, these are some of the grains that was actually shown in the parliament. अभी recent में parliament में एक millets के ऊपर एक awareness सेमिनार ऑर्गेनाइज की गई थी, जहाँ पे ये सारे मिलेट्स के जो वेराइटीज हैं वो डिस्प्ले पे लगाए गए थे. राइट, सो दिस वाज आल्सो द पार्ट वेयर गवर्नमेंट इज ट्राइंग टू प्रमोट द पार्ट ऑफ द मिलेट्स दैट शुड बी रीचिंग आउट टू द एंटायर कंट्री. नाउ पॉजिटिव्स ऑफ मिलेट्स की अगर बात करें, बाजरा और पर्ल मिलेट has high iron, zinc, and protein level compared to any other wheat or rice. Right, it has more fiber and it's gluten free as well. The rotis of bajra or chapatis of bajras feel one full longer, and even they take more time to digest and does not raise the blood sugar level. अगर बात करें ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स की, जैसे एक इंडिविजुअल की जो ग्लूकोज लेवल है वो हिट करती है. I'm not getting into deep down, but glycemic index is something that is very important in food. For every food there is a glycemic index. So rich in phytonutrients, they help to reduce the heart risk also. जो diseases के जो risk हैं उसे भी खत्म करती है. It is rich in niacin, which is a vitamin which manages more than 400 enzymes in our body. And it's healthy for skin, organic functions, and excellent source of beta carotene, especially for the darker varieties. So there's a number of benefits. It's a full packet with it's full of nutrients, minerals, vitamins, and essential trace minerals. So this is the reason why Government of India is promoting for the promotions and inclusion of millets in our daily diet. Now there's various types of millets that are available. Mostly in South India, you will find the millets that is available. Precisely talking about some of the most prominent one that is used regularly. The one is jowar, then there's kodo millet, there's finger millet, there's foxtail millet, there's pearl millet, right? And these are the other varieties of millets that is basically available across the India. Now, global distributions की अगर बात करें, India, Nigeria, and China are the largest producer of millets in the world, accounting for more than 55% of the global productions. For many years, India was a major producer of millet, but recently this ranking was taken by Africa, which is also one of the greatest producer of millets. But nonetheless, after the government initiative, we as an individual also need to have an awareness to other people that what are the benefits, specifically for the elderly and the people who have problems with the medical conditions. These inclusion of the diet will definitely help to build a good well-being of the body. Now, there are the details which is about the millets, right? So how it has improved the metabolism, its resistance to drought and heat. There's other many benefits that is there in terms of millet. The crop is a drought resistance, and millet is easily available to store. Millet is high in protein, vitamin, iron, calcium, and phytochemicals, gluten free, rich in antioxidant, and easy to digest. It's even lower the cardiovascular diseases and bring down the incidence of colon cancer, constipations, and gastrointestinal diseases, right? So the comparison between millets and rice is also given. What you can do, you can take a screenshot and you can read it out. What are the details that is specifically mentioned for the various types of millets that is available in India. Now, productions की अगर बात करें, so you can see the production earlier was very low in terms of 2004 and 24. Now it has taken a toll. For different varieties, you can see this number is increasing in terms of bajra, jowar, and ragi. Now, some challenges that is being posed by the millets productions. In India, millets isn't the first choice either for consumer or for the farmer. They are poor both in rural and urban areas, and rice, wheat were once the aspirational food for the rural India. The chart shows how millet has been reduced to an orphan crop over the planted year, largely in the marginalized area prone to moisture areas, right? And between 2003, 2004 and 21-22, India's millet output has actually fallen from 21.32 million to 15.92 million tons. So this is a reduction that we have seen in terms of overall productions of the millet. Now, possible solutions to this, definitely there are the latest data for 2021 and 22 that says that 26.56 crore children that is enrolled in the school, right? So these children should be fed with millets, and this will definitely help to boost their nutritional value. An additional 7.71 crore children, 1.80 crore pregnant women and lactating women can also be supplemented with this food, and even the Anganwadi centers should also be given with the millets so that it's cost effective and it is highly nutritious. There's potential huge market for millet as well in India, given the dire need for elevating nutrients and malnutrition which we've seen in India. It is easy that the deficiency of iron and zinc can be overcome with the use of millet. The center has asked the existence two schemes जहाँ पे प्रधानमंत्री पोषण शक्ति निर्माण और सक्षम आंगनवाड़ी पोषण 2.0 ये सारे स्कीम्स को गवर्नमेंट ने मर्ज किया है ताकि इस सारे चीजों के साथ मिलेट्स की यूटिलाइजेशंस को बढ़ाई जा सके, and these can be the better leverage by making them more millet focused. Moving to the other news, that is India asked Pakistan to expedite the release of Indian prisoners, something important for general studies paper 2 under the subtopic that is India and its neighborhood relations. India has recently, Sunday has asked Pakistan to expedite the release of and repatriations of 631 Indian fishermen and 2 Indian civilian prisoners who have been completed this sentence and whose nationality has been confirmed and conveyed to Pakistan. Now, agreement on consular access की बात की है इंडिया ने. The Ministry of External Affairs has asked Pakistan to provide immediate consular access to the remaining 30 fishermen and 22 civil prisoners in Pakistan custodies who have been believed to be Indian. And requests were made as per the 2008 agreement on consular access, where India and Pakistan share the list of civilian prisoners and fishermen in their custody, and this list are exchanged on year of January 1st और July 1 को exchange की जा चुकी. Prisoners data की अगर बात करें, India shared the list of 339 Pakistani civilian prisoners and 95 Pakistani fishermen currently in Indian custody. This is the number of people that is there in Indian custody. And similarly, Pakistan ने share किया कि उनके पास 51 civilian prisoners हैं और 654 fishermen हैं जो कि Indian origin के हैं. They are Indian citizen and believed to be there in the Pakistan prisons. Now the data, both India and Pakistan has imprisoned hundreds of civilians in their respective countries. So you can see the number that how it has increased from 2014 to 2019. This is Indian imprisoned in Pakistan, and these are the Pakistanis prison in India. The number is 249, and this is almost close to it is earlier it was none. Now it has the data for 2019 is 249, and subsequent year is also mentioned over here. Now, call to expedite the process. India has called that definitely the government should work. The government of Pakistan should be immediately expediting the entire process. And India has urged the Pakistan to expedite the process to end that the nationality of 71 Pakistani prisoners, including the fishermen, should be have repatriations, including the delayed and confirmations with nationality of Pakistan. And Pakistan has been requesting to ensure safety, security, and welfare of all Indians to be believed, and even the Indian prisoners as a fisherman pending their release and repatriations to India. Now, moving to the editorial of the day, India's dilemma on Asia's century, something important for General Studies Paper 2, under the subtopic Bilateral Regional Grouping and Agreement involving India and affecting India's interest. So what are the issues under this editorial? First is the Asian century with multipolarity, implications of multipolar, India's dilemmas, and post-India South Asia. The theme for this editorial is India and Asian centrality. Now, in 2021 was a moment where India and rest of the world is unlikely to further sharpen the geopolitical fault line set by motions for the previous year. We're talking about the consequent event that took place in the year 2022. But amid all the tectonic shift that has took place, certainty and emergence of Asian center century is something that is pointed out. At present, though countries की अगर बात करें, Russia and China, they are trying to have a varying degree, undermining the global balanced power with regional powers such as Iran, Turkey, Saudi Arabia in a tow. Now, Asia century multipolarity की अगर बात करें, there has been no meaning Asian century in a unipolar world. एक alternative की अगर बात करें unipolar world की, तो multipolar world में आज की डेट में Russia, China and Japan, India, the other smaller power that is asserting themselves to a global stage. The alternative is China-dominated Asia, which India definitely don't want. Hence, it's a challenge for India, and it's clear that China-dominated Asia won't serve any India's geopolitical interest. For India, multipolarity is one of the premised rule of the law and peaceful coexistence, and India will never want any dominance of China in any specific region. Implication of multipolars की अगर बात करें, one of the likely implication of multipolar world is which Asia take the central state and would sharpening the oppositions against the current global financial order, so that the weaponization of global trade, sanctions against Russia's attempt in turn evading them, and help the Asian partner like China, Iran, Turkey and India will pose a serious challenge to the dollar-based trade and Western payment via SWIFT. So definitely these are the cautions and implications for the multipolar world, and considering the fact that India definitely will not call for such things to be advanced. India's की dilemma की बात करें, India has consistently campaigned for the multipolar world where key Asian power has a place and high table on international politics, and India may hesitate to engage emergent Asia century for various reasons. First की अगर बात करें, India establishment has deeply status quo view of the world order despite the frequent calls for change, and while believe that the more democratic orderly rules based order, तो rule based order के लिए इंडिया ने हमेशा advocate किया है सारे multilateral forum पे भी. Second, India's biggest fear would be Asia century without stable multipolarity. So we need a stability where the dominance for any country is not there and equal representation for each countries are there. For India, multipolar or bipolar international system dominated by China and US would be a bad deal. Third is that if bipolar world leads to the great power accommodations between US and China, it's a situation which India need to be thankful for. It is worsened condition for India. And if US accommodate China, it means that definitely US is expecting that China's expansion or the policy which they are actually using. तो अगर किसी भी तरह से यूएस ने एक्मोडेट किया चाइना की पॉलिसी को, तो वो इंडिया के लिए काफी हद तक नेगेटिव होगी. This would make India causality for to alter the greater power politics, but put differently, the US and China complete or accommodate their bipolar world, India has a reason definitely to worry. Now, post India South Asia की अगर बात करें, finally there's a little doubt that Asia century will be China's dominated one. China's growing material power, both century and military, is already paving way, especially with the US forces firmly entrenching the Russian threat. Imagining South Asia with a deep entrenched with China's Belt and One Road initiative as associated with the debt traps, जहाँ पे श्रीलंका ने भी इस जो debt trap की problems है उससे overcome की है, and the problem was mostly why that China has given a huge surge of amount to Sri Lanka, and now they are in a debt trap and unable to make the repayment. Navigating through the emergent Asia century is not going to be easy for India as well, and being cognizant of many varieties and vagaries is perhaps a good start for India. So definitely Asia centrality in terms of promoting the things and calling for the other part will be very important, right? Now, moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed with the questions, just answer for the yesterday. That is, question C is for the one, and question C, option C is for question 2 as well. Now, today's MCQ, Mission Vatsalya. The mission is aimed to reduce the infant mortality. Under the mission, the National Human Bank and Lactation Counseling Center will be established. So do check it out for the correct options. The second question of the day, Defense Acquisition Council. The Prime Minister of India is the chairman of the council. It was formed after a group of minister recommendations on the national security in 2000 post-Kargil war. So do check it out for the correct option. Practicing a lot more question is something that will help you, and you have to be committed on the part that you will practice a lot more questions. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.